I hope the coffee I get served isn't cold or stale. You always knew how to make it, until right about the last few months when you seemed to forget. There was less milk, less sugar every time. Breakfast with you was once every morning's incentive to rise and maybe shine. Let's revisit that feeling, that familiar overturning of my stomach, which coincided with the very instant at which I saw you and knew that there was no one else I would have rather had make my coffee for me. I was taking Sadie for a walk. She loves the outdoors nearly as much as you do. I remember the acuity with which I felt the rush of wind when she pulled away, the leash streaming behind her as she went on to find you 2 seconds later. I remember the first night I sat in front of you in that dress and said nothing. The resulting awkwardness was heavier upon my shoulders than my cardigan, but then your eyes were on mine and that was a kind of soaring. And then each time I brought myself to look at you, I felt more reassured that I was exactly where I should have been. Perfection characterized the first many months, and I still loved you hopelessly the night we ordered a pizza. Just one among many. You made one mistake, one hardly worth noting, and yet for some reason it resounds now with incomparable clarity. I loved you with a selflessness that consumed every aspect of my life and made it its own. Anything remotely unforgivable was overlooked with a passivity that transcended my body. The fortitude I once knew like the back of your hands vanished quicker than I could think to ask for it back. It was yours. We used to sleep as if welded together, two elements that had converged. A compound. I am unsure of the point at which a chasm formed across which no vessel could get me to you. Days turned into nights where light could find no crevice in which to stay. Your bed was all of a sudden too small for the both of us, and the blankets were always lacking, and my coffee grew steadily colder with each passing morning, and your goodbyes were hurried, your intentions masked, and my smile became that much harder to find every time you held my hands, as if to anchor me there, though it was you who had already left. And you'd look into my eyes and say earnestly, I love you, and I became a child having a conversation she did not understand, because your words then held all the weight of the air I could no longer find to fill my lungs. But you treaded upon soil, and your footsteps are not to remain, and the wounds you've inflicted shall not mar the beauty of her eyes, nor the intimacy of her embrace, which is closer and warmer and diminishes nearly completely the phantoms that reside in the memory of your arms around my waist. And she too will know how I take my coffee, because it isn't all that hard to remember, and the glory I allowed you for understanding the concept of 2 sugars was just another brick with which to solidify the walls I continue to scale.